Hi, I'm Chadwick Ball. I'm a skilled laborer here at Sierra Bridge, and this is a day in the life. So we usually work 10-hour days. That's 7 to 5:30. Those are usually pretty mandatory. We'll meet with our foreman, who is Robin. That's 7. That's our usual go time start. So everybody talks to Robin. Robin will give out kind of job descriptions and fillers for different roles of people, and then they'll send guys out to where they need to go. That's why we got guys on this side, guys on that side, me, Bruno on this pier cap. As of right now, me and Bruno are filling out these pier caps. You can see these big steel plates that are on top of the pier caps. There's core bell holes that are on the inside of here. We have that vacuum, just kind of gotta suck it out because the steel rods go in here. We gotta make sure these are cleaned out. Big steel girders that are on the other side, we're gonna land those as soon as we're ready. Gotta get that all done on. But other than that, up here, just a little bit of cleanup. Guys that are on the wing wall and the ballast, they're stripping that. That new abutment should be good to go pretty soon. A couple of the other guys on the other side are setting up those bearing plates. Once those are ready to go, we'll actually get the girders on there, and then we'll be laughing from there. So, these guys, threaded dowels. So, what goes on here is these plates have 4 holes, and there's 4 bells that we put PVC pipe in before we poured the concrete, just so we didn't have to pour anything out with a pouring machine, because that's a lot of work and we didn't really want to deal with that. So what happens here is once me and Bruno vacuum all this out, these big rods go in like these. I want to make sure I don't hit the bottom. And then there's those big nuts that are over there that kind of thread onto here. And then once you torque it down, it keeps the bearing plate in place. Because when you put the girders on, obviously you don't want the bearing plates to move with all the traffic that it's going to be on. So when you drill these down, torque them in and make sure the bearing plates don't move. These are around 400 pounds, but obviously you want these in just to brace it, because when we put these in, we'll grout it so it stays in place. Get those washers on, and then the nuts, tighten it down, keeps the bearing plate down when you put the girders on. That's why we vacuum those out. Can't have water in there. Bridge is super hardcore when it comes to your general job description. A lot of the physical labor we do is a lot different from infrastructure and general contracting. For us, it's basically hardcore concrete. Concrete's probably one of the hardest jobs, and you can ask a lot of trades. Not a whole lot of people want to do concrete because of how hard it is. We're a little bit smaller than the other divisions because a lot of people don't like bridge work, but for the guys like me, Rob, and Bruno, all the guys that are on the bridge crew like bridge because of the physical labor. So as of right now, me and a couple of the guys are stripping these forms here for the ballast. These are part of the wing wall. This is ballast. I'm gonna break the seal here. Burlap. This is good stuff. This retains moisture really well, and it helps with the curing of the concrete. Stripping is usually pretty standard. Stripping comes probably around 10 days after the concrete pour. When we poured the concrete, we had to put that burlap, which is kind of like you lay it on top of the concrete after you pour. The concrete draws the moisture from the burlap, and that helps keep the concrete wet so the curing process can actually start. And this white stuff, which is polyurethane, put that on top of the burlap, because obviously when the sun hits, it's going to draw all the moisture out of the burlap, and you want to keep the burlap as wet as possible so the concrete can retain all the moisture that it possibly can to help the curing process. And with these forms also help retain the moisture really well, because you'll see with regular plywood, like this stuff here that we use for our walkway, you'll notice that the interior of the forms have a different kind of color and a different coating than the regular plywood, and this is called form ply. a lot more durable than this regular stuff that we walk on. And it's got a sealer in it that helps retain and make the concrete look really nice when you actually go to strip. I've been a skilled laborer at Sierra for about coming up 4 years now. When I was hired, I got hired as a general laborer. And then as you pick up skills from working as a general laborer, then they move you up to skilled whatever. There's a couple different levels that you kind of have to get through to get to my position, but not really a huge difference between all of our different skill laborers and general laborers is that we all do this kind of the same work, because this whole thing's about teamwork, right? There's no teamwork, there's no production, no money. So you can have even a general laborer guy doing farm work, right? Because obviously they have to learn how to do it as well. And that's where my position kind of comes in, because I kind of like to groom the guys into understanding what we're doing. If they have any questions, I'll answer them. I love mentoring guys because I want to teach everybody as much as I know. And even me being at my level, I'm still learning. I'm still learning from Robin, and I'll try to pass on that knowledge. And that's a really, really big part of what Sierra means as a whole, is it's all about teamwork. Everybody treats each other with respect, and we build relationships with everybody that's here, and we become friends. So this is my foreman. His name is Robin McKenzie. He's been a foreman position for a very long time. We got Derek, we got Bruno, and then Nick is just on the other side. And this is kind of like the whole crew, right? This is what makes Sierra exciting, and it makes it fun to come to work because of this guy right here. This is probably one of the best foremans I've ever had. And out here, we call him our dad. That's just kind of how it works.
In other words,
Big Daddy. So mostly after everything's stripped, it's mostly just touch-ups, like little things that you got to do to make the concrete just a little bit nicer. Like you'll notice on some of this concrete, you're gonna have the seams from the forms. These seams mostly look like this all the time, but what you do is you just come with a stone and you just grind it up, and then you'll make it flush with the other panels that go on here. Bridge work, I'm not going to say it's easy because it's not, but that's kind of the best parts about it, because it kind of gets your brain thinking on what you need to do, on how to fix things that, say, don't go our way. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you thinking, and at the end of the day, when you do go home, you actually feel satisfied with the work that you've done. I think it's really, really cool that the infrastructure that we build, people use every day. Once again, I'm Chadwick Ball. This is usually my typical day, and I really hope you enjoyed me showing you around and following up on my life in the day in the life.